The next speaker, she is, I think, a writer. She likes reading a lot. So Nivar Aryan Usman from 10. So the topic is so cool. What's the topic? The power of words. So the power of words. Let's see. How does she convey the message? And Nivar, please welcome. So the stage is yours.
Hello everyone. So words that are said in the right way can change someone's mind. Words are power. Words have power. Let's start with a simple question. Do you know that the amount of people dying from diabetes is 3 times much more than people dying from smoking cigarettes? And yet, if I take out a Snicker bar, no one will say anything. The actual reason for your lung cancer is your DNA, not smoking cigarettes. You could smoke for years and nothing could happen to you. Ladies and gentlemen, guess what? I just made this up. I have the power to make you believe in me. Words that are said in the wrong way will not make sense. Sometimes you have something really nice to say, but say it in the wrong way and then it's gone. Have you ever wondered why nobody cares about global warming, even though it's a very serious issue? Because when you go home and you watch TV, this is how the scientists represent. Hello everyone, so this is ozone layer number 3. The message never gets across. I want to talk about my friend Mela Muhammad, a girl who could be saved by her father's words. My friend Mela really loved her father. She would do anything just to make him proud and make him happy. But he was the kind of guy who was not easy to make interest in you. She would always get straight A's and from every exam, 100 and everything. She called her dad, "Daddy, are you proud of me because I got 100 on my final exam?" And he was like, "I'm busy, Bella. I will call you later." "I am busy" was the sentence that broke my best friend's back. She started drinking, doing drugs, going out with people, and so many bad things. She died. "I am proud" was the sentence who could save my best friend. Words can make a difference between someone accepting and someone denying. My little brother Lawa had a really bad habit with writing on the walls with crayon. I would go and be like, "Lawa, why are you doing that? Don't write on the walls, this is bad." And he would not listen to me. Once I came back from school and I saw his handprints on my walls and he was laughing at me. So I thought, if I shout at him, nothing's going to change. I went on my knees and I was like, "Lawa, what you're doing is wrong. You have to, this is our house, this is our environment, my dad has to pay for it again." And he never did it until this moment. I would like to say something and end my speech with something. When you go out of this hall, remember that words can inspire and words can destroy. Thank you so much.
Thanks a lot. I hope that your words made a little bit steps for them, and of course, she's right. The words are so powerful. So we may see eye to eye with you, why not? But as you know, they are just learners and they took a bold step. So we have to really appreciate them. And of course, for the upcoming days. Okay, and so the next speaker, Lara Kovan from 4th grade. And the topic, why do parents have to listen to their kids? Please Lara, welcome. The stage is yours. Clap for her.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. So let me tell you something, like a story. So first there was a monkey, and he was trying to get out because the scientists put him in a cave. And then he tried so hard, he tried very hard, he still couldn't do it. Every time he did it, he got hurt. Then finally, the scientists let him go. So for example, this is the day of mine, and it's Halloween. I asked my Mom, please can I hang out with my friends? She said no. So I tried to do my homework and do everything. I asked her again, Mom, pretty please, can I go hang out with my friends? Because I want to be with them and talk to them. Then again, she said, sweetie, no, I can't let you. I do my chores, homework, everything she wanted. I asked her again, Mom, pretty please, can I go trick-or-treating with my friends? She said no means no. Maybe one day I will let you. I go to my room, I tell my friends, I can't hang out today. My mom don't let me. Then she said, it's okay, maybe one day she will let you. If you're having a tough parent, it doesn't mean you don't have a perfect life. You always have a perfect life. And some people may ask, why parents have to listen to kids? Because sometimes it's important and it's the truth. What if you're in school and you tell your mom, you came home, you tell your mom, Mom, so today this happened, and then your mom didn't listen to you. So she visits the school, and the teacher asks her, did you heard what happened yesterday? And then she realized she should have listened to you. And let me tell you this, sometimes 20% are sad and 50% are happy. But I'm trying to make this story for the parents that have to listen to kids and to the kids that have to listen to parents. It doesn't matter if you have a tough life or not a tough life. You always have a perfect life. Thank you and have a great day.
So as we said, so the next speaker is Karia from 10th grade. So the topic is so common in our society. I think we can get benefit from that topic if we just kind of be all ears. So the topic is driving morally. So the stage is yours. Let's see.
Hello ladies and gentlemen, I'm really happy to have you here today. And I wanted to talk about a story that happened in our family very recently. I wanted to talk about how one of my relatives got into a car accident and he was severely injured and later on died. And this really got me thinking into how we should try to prevent this and why it's happening so much in Kurdistan. And so I came to the conclusion, sir, can we? Okay, what are the reasons citizens are dying because of car crashes? First, we have bad driving. 70% is from speeding and driver distraction. 25% is just because of bad vehicle maintenance. Why is that? Let's try to change that. And second, we have not paying much attention. The drivers here really don't pay much attention to actually driving. They don't have enough attention to actually start driving well because the government isn't enforcing anything on them. And third, we have no lane for big transportational cars. We have no lane for lorries or tanks to actually transport better in Kurdistan. And this is a major counterbag that's happening here. See, if we go from Erbil to Slimani or anywhere else, you see how the road is just really severely damaged. And so many accidents happen in just that area alone. Who should we hold responsible? First, the people, and second, the government. The people, 40% of accidents happen because of low quality vehicles. And second one, the government. 60% is just because of road conditions. Government should be trying to find these road conditions. They should be trying to find them, and the people should actually be trying to listen to these laws that the government put up, and the government should enforce the laws. Why are citizens not following the law? First, we have distracted with a device or a person, or they are drinking something, playing with something. I'm going to give you an example. A bloody accident happened in mid-April last year. 11 people died, and this was only just because of distraction with a device. Second, not following the limit. Do you know Iraq is the forefront of countries when we're not in the forefront of anything? We're the forefront of countries in just driving accidents. And third, we have the country is evolving, but not the citizens. The country is evolving really fast in Kurdistan, but the people's mindset is not comprehending how fast it's actually getting. So we are not actually evolving with the country. According to an investigation that happened, nearly 20,000 accidents happened, but only 5,000 were recorded. Just because we don't have insurance in Kurdistan, we don't have any type that can actually take care of the car after it's crashed. Why are there so many cars in such a small country? We have no transportation besides cars. There is no transportation like metros, buses. We don't have good bus stops. We don't have any type of metros, trains, or anything that can actually transport us from point A to point B. Around 950,000 buses were in Kurdistan, but only 1,000 are put to use on a daily basis. And an American people came here and they tried to install these buses in 2017. They haven't been touched since then. Bus stops in Kurdistan are really wrecked. That's why we don't use it anymore. Why do we discriminate women in driving? First, we have assumption, and second, we have old mindset. Assumption, let me give you an example. You know, when we see a bad car while driving, they're driving really bad, we're gonna go beep, 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 beep. That's a woman. That's a woman. How is that a woman? Because we're just assuming things. Old mindset. In 2017, a woman got out of her car and tried to put petrol in her car only, nothing bad. And she was mocked for this, and it was later on all over the news. Do you know why is this? Because way before, only men were actually allowed to drive, women weren't. So that's why the men in Kurdistan, respectfully to all the men out there, we have like an old mindset, that's why. And I wanted to ask the audience, all of you, what do you think of driving in Kurdistan? You can raise your hands if you want to. Exactly. I'm not going to say. Yes.
Extremely poor conditions.
Exactly. We have so many people coming from all around the world coming here and they're saying, we can't drive here. It's just that bad. What are the reasons we aren't following the law? New drivers. You're going to ask me why this. Because we have so many teenage drivers these last few months. They finish college, they finish their 18th, and they start driving. And they start following these drifters all over the social media, and they try to follow what they're doing and copy them. Adults and not paying attention. The adults in Kurdistan, they really aren't paying much attention because there's really not much to pay attention to anymore. Because the government isn't actually doing something to make them give attention to it. Can you go back? 7,000 accidents happened and 4,800 were dead in 2021 alone. Can you believe that? And 1,300 dead between January and June in 2020. This was only just because of Corona. That's why how low it is. It's actually not that low. And last, we have no primary education. We need to start actually giving out primary education in Kurdistan, trying to teach these students from a primary and trying to teach them about how to drive, but not actually make them drive it, just how to drive, educate them. And I have a quote that I wanted to say from Dr. Jaffer. Everybody can play a part to bring change and prevent unnecessary deaths and injuries due to road traffic accidents. This goal can well be achieved And just one more, there's an Arabic saying, I think most of you probably know this. Driving is a sense, art, and style. Thank you so much.
The last speaker for the first session will be Vina Adam Ismail from 6th grade, and the topic is what's wrong with our food system. So welcome. So applaud her, please.
Hello everyone. Today I'll talk about what's wrong with our food system. Before we start, I know you all guys might be wondering, why did I choose this topic? Well, I chose this topic because nowadays the quality of our food is getting lower and lower and lower. On the other hand, the food price is getting higher and higher and higher. Our food system is very wrong. It needs to be fixed by us, the people around us, governments and presidents, and even companies and farmers. First of all, I would like to talk about junk food and sugar. We all know how harmful is junk food and sugar. Let me all tell you one fact about junk food and sugar you might not know about. First of all, junk food can cause cancer cells, while the sugar will spread the cancer cells even more, which unfortunately will cause cancer. So, it can cause death. Have you ever wondered that our healthy food is actually bad sad food? Let me tell you why. Imagine you come home from school and your mom asks you to go to the grocery store to buy the food list inside your to-do list. So, you will do that like how a normal person would do. But the thing you don't know is that companies are hiding a very big secret from us. Let me tell you worst hidden ingredients that might be hidden inside the food. Aspartate, HFCH, which stands for high-fructose corn syrup, BHA and BHT, sodium nitrates and nitrites. What about preservate? Preservate is a chemical that companies are using so that it will help to prevent the decomposition of microbial organisms. It also helps the food to stay a little longer. But the thing they don't care about is it can cause cancer or many other harmful diseases. What about, you might ask, what about fruits and vegetables? Well, they don't come from companies, do they? Nah. But fruits and vegetables, nowadays farmers will use genetic seeds because our normal seeds is way too expensive. They cannot handle it. For example, the seed of a tomato comes from the DNA of a fish. What about when they plant this genetic seed? It will grow into a seedling. When it grows into a seedling, they don't want unwanted varieties of plants and animals to ruin that, so they will use harmful chemicals instead, such as herbicides, pesticides, and fertilizers. Well, let me tell you the diseases that's caused by herbicides, pesticides, and fertilizers. Cancer, which is the most serious disease. Genetic damages, and even the death of organisms exposed. So is our healthy human body, let's say for now. Acid rain is a very bad cause nowadays. It's caused by pollution. You might ask, what is acid rain? Acid rain is precipitation resulting of nitric and sulfuric acid. That means nitric and sulfuric acid originally comes from pollution. Pollution nowadays is made from cars, fossil fuels, and many other things. When the acid rain rains, it will produce damage for us, the people around us, and even our food and water. So my friends, before you drink your water or use it in a daily life, be aware that it's actually filtered well enough to use it or drink it. Because let's be honest, who wants to pay for these expensive big checkments of hospitals? Thanks everyone for watching, and hopefully you will have a good time.
Let's get started the second session. So we can say the first one. Okay, the first speaker from the second session is Ahmed Azad from 9th grade. So the topic is the wisdom of life. Welcome. Clap for him.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والصلاة والسلام على رسول الأمين الحمد لله رب العالمين. أبدأ بخطاب سليمان إنه من سليمان وإنه بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. Welcome everybody. Welcome to the Shahan Talk. Today I'll be presenting something about the wisdom of life. It's a really hard topic to talk about, especially the way I will do. So I hope you will all be ears. How can we reach the level of wisdom? How can we be someone that is above smart pupils? How can we act like a wise person? Listening more than speaking. Once upon a time, there was a guy called the wise 𝐒𝐚𝐤. He said humans have 2 ears and 1 tongue because they have to listen twice more than they're speaking. So listening is actually more important than talking. Second one, don't wait for chances. Do not wait for your future, whatever you do. Don't just go this year I'm not going to do anything, but next year, inshallah, I will try to work on my project or my idea or my invention or whatever. Do not. Take a chance and make perfect. Don't wait for the future. Don't wait for a perfect chance. The future doesn't even exist. There is nothing such as future. Take a chance, make it perfect. Comparing. Now, this is a huge problem, especially to students. They compare their marks with other students, which is quite a bit of problem. For example, I have a friend, I'm competing my marks against his marks. If he wins, I'm gonna blow up. Depression, sadness, anxiety, or whatever. If I win, I'm gonna go over my limit. I'm gonna flex on him. Which both of them you're gonna regret it. So you only have to compare yourself with your past. The past, who you were in the past. Fourth one, learn how to learn. This is a really important one. You have to learn from your mistakes. It's all experience. For example, today I have an exam. If you're failing the exam, that's okay. It's simple, nothing to worry about. You have to learn from it. Make it an experience for yourself. Wisdom is the world of experience, written by 𝐓𝐚𝐥𝐤, which is me. And I'm going to end my presentation with a start. Who can tell me why? Yes, Benjamin.
Is the start of getting more better.
Excellent. Whatever I just said, whatever I just presented, is an end for me. But for all you guys, it's a start of a new path, a new way, a new journey. Wish you guys luck.
Much more appreciated. I hope that you delivered. Okay, so the next speaker will be Shania from 6th grade and Shania Ahmad's Burhan from 6th grade, and the topic is the importance of goal in our life. So Shania, welcome, please. Clap for her. Let's see.
Without putting a goal, it's difficult to score. Importance of setting goals. What is the goal setting? Basically, a goal setting is a process for thinking about your ideal future and for motivating yourself to turn this vision into reality. Differences between dream and goal. Dream is a fantasy. It does not have any boundaries, while a goal, it is more clear and vivid target that you want to attain. A dream is a goal without legs. A goal is always accompanied with a plan. Everyone's mistake is when they're putting a plan, when they're putting a goal, they're not putting a plan with it. A dream can be the guiding passion of your life. A goal is an aim or objective that you want to achieve. Setting goal. The process of setting goal is based on 3 steps. Deciding what you want to accomplish, devising a plan to work with, working on the plan to achieve the result you desire. Importance of setting goals. Setting goals enable enables you to convert ideas into doable milestones. Have control on the direction of your life. Concentrate and use your time more effectively and being positive. Steps for setting goals. Identify potential. Prioritize and select your goals. Write your goals down. Evaluate the goals. Pursue your goals, monitoring progress along the way. How to stay focused in important goals. Eliminate activities that don't help. For example, mobile phone. Like everyone is addicted to mobile phone, and that wastes a lot of time. Discuss priorities. Progress with families and friends, colleagues. Creative visualization. Live a day. Maintain goal journal. How will goal setting your life help you to achieve more? Gives clarity on your end vision. Be the best you can be. Will develop greater confidence. Help in utilizing talents and strengths. Will help in growing and developing. All you have to do to set a realistic goal is to follow the SMART Goals guidelines. S stands for specific, M stands for measurable, A stands for attainable, and R stands for relevant, and T stands for time-bound. We as Muslims should have important goals after life goals. For example, our most important goals is gaining Allah's acceptance, and beside that, we have other important goals too in our lives, such as helping people, doing da'wah, and achieving our parents' acceptance, and getting high marks, getting good jobs and serve our society through them. Last but not least, a dream becomes a goal when an action is taken towards achieving it. You're never too old to set another goal or to dream a new dream. And thank you for listening.
Really appreciate it. That was really awesome. And because she really reminded us just to have goals. Okay. So the next one will be a cute student who is Ban Mustafa Saleh from 8th grade. So the topic is self-improvement, which is so amazing, the topic. Ban, welcome. Applaud her, please.
Hello everyone. Today I would like to talk about a topic that I'm actually very interested in and has piqued my interest. Okay. Today I'm going to be talking about a subject that actually piqued my interest a lot. Today I'm going to be talking about mental health and self-improvement. Self-improvement. Well, today I'm going to be talking about something. Sorry. So, have you ever struggled with mental disabilities? Have you ever struggled with, for example, anxiety? Or have you ever been insecure about something about yourself? So, I'm going to be talking about that. I'm going to be talking about specifically depression. Depression is it's very complicated, but I'm going to be talking about how it feels. Depression mainly feels like you're drowning in a deep ocean. It feels very dark because you start isolating yourself from people and habits you liked. Everything you used to like is now boring. The things you used to eat and love now are tasteless. And the people you used to enjoy hanging out with are now kind of distant, even though you didn't really do anything. And also the habits you enjoy are now boring. Everything around you is starting to crumble and you're starting to hate everything around you.
people, everything really, you start hating everything around you and your surroundings and the people and the things you eat. Everything is starting to bother you. Everything is starting to not make sense in your brain, and really, it's a struggle. And also, it's really hard to get out of depression, especially because it traps you. It takes you in and it's hard to get out. It's really important to try to improve. Some misconceptions with depression is that it's a joke, or maybe perhaps it's not that serious, or maybe the person that is depressed can be deemed lazy or mean or annoying or really anything of that sort. The thing is, that's wrong. You can't really control it. Depression comes from, well, trauma, and you can't really control your past or your future. Now, can you? Well, you can control your future, but not everything about it. You can't control the events that are going on, and it's not really your fault, really. So, another misconception is that also the only people who are depressed are people who walk slow, who talk slow, and who are always dressed in full black and everything like that. Goths are associated with depressed people. People make jokes about depressed people, which is, well, bad. Depression is not a joke, and it never should be. And now, how would you get out of depression? How would you get out of a mental struggle? Oh, sorry. How to start improving, really. The first step to improving is acceptance. Accepting who you are and the things around you and your past and your future. Some people think acceptance is about forgetting about the thing completely. Well, it isn't. Acceptance is when you accept it as a part of you, as who you are, and as something that happened to you. Not everyone is gonna like their past or their future, but they can always accept it as a part of them, and they can always like the things that happened to them. Not everything is under your control, and it never should be. Now, how do you really start accepting yourself? How would you start accepting yourself, and what should you accept? Like I said, your past, your present, and your future. And of course, yourself, how you look, and everything else above that. So, acceptance is basically accepting it as a part of you. Telling somebody, yeah, that happened, and I moved on. Or, well, I haven't moved on, or just something. Also, something else you have to accept is the people you've hurt. Whatever you're gonna accept, you have to accept your past, your present, and your future. So you have to accept the people that you've hurt, the people that have been affected by you. So, what do I mean by that? Maybe the people you have affected in your past are still mad at you, and you have already apologized, but they're still mad at you. You have to accept the fact that they're always going to be mad at you, and you can't really control it. Now, can you? Replacing bad habits with good ones. Sometimes people cope with depression by getting bad habits. Sometimes it's self-harm, sometimes it's spoiling themselves with homework, or sometimes it's just piling things up for themselves and trying to avoid thinking, which is a bad thing. There are good habits, like for example, gardening or reading or something like that. It just shouldn't be overused. Well, anything that's overdone is always bad, so yeah. Romanticizing life. Romanticizing and liking the things you do. Because with depression comes the struggle of doing things. Sometimes people who are depressed feel like they can't do anything. You come home, you can't do anything but sit down and cry about your life. Well, you have to romanticize your life. You have to enjoy doing your daily tasks, and you have to enjoy the things you do if you really want a change. Because if you don't want to change, you can't have any change at all. Now, can you? Learning about how to enjoy your own company. Something else that I've learned about enjoying your own company is enjoying being by yourself. Some people tell me that they have PTSD and they can't stand being by themselves. Well, you have to get over that. And I'm not saying you have to get over it quickly. People change and grow over time, and nobody can control that.
The thing is, if you want to improve, you have to accept how you're gonna improve, the time you will take to improve, and how you're gonna improve. Whether it takes a minute, a second, a day, a week, a month, years, decades, and maybe you think it's too late. Maybe you think it's too late for you to change. Well, I'm here to tell you that it's never too late to change. Whether you're 9 or you're 80, you can always change no matter what stage you are in your life. It's never too late. It doesn't matter what happens. If you want to change, you can change whenever you want. The second you start accepting the fact that you are in a bad state of your life, the second you start wanting to change, you are gonna change, and hopefully for the better, so you can become the best version of yourself. That's all I have to say. Are there any questions? No?
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
You're doing great, and it was great because you can accomplish your goals by self-improvement. Thanks again. So the next speaker will be Leah Farouk Rashid from 6th grade, and the topic is failure is a stepping stone to success. Please, Leah, welcome.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My topic for today is about failure is a stepping stone to success. How can failure be a stepping stone to success? Well, basically, for example, we have a toddler. The toddler tries to go climb or crawl onto a stair, but he fails many times and he falls, but he keeps trying and more. But when he finally goes on top of the stair, he feels that he's like a successful toddler. He achieved something so important because toddlers, like for them, it's hard to climb onto a stair. And also another example, for example, someone that's trying very hard to achieve their goal, or they like work really hard and plan for their dreams, and they fail many times, but they don't give up. That's a successful person because after many fails and tryings, he still keeps going and going. That means, like, even after failing, he's still a successful person. But if someone that doesn't even like keep trying or doesn't work for their dreams or doesn't plan, he's not a successful person, because if you don't face failure, you don't know what like success is like. And success doesn't come overnight. It needs time, like days, weeks, months, or even years. And failure is a great teacher. In fact, the best teacher. Well, let me tell you why. Because failure helps you learn and grow. And for example, if you make mistakes, it makes you like learn and make them to the right ways. And if you like face failure, do not ever like give up, or keep trying and trying, work hard for it. Some people think that failure is like the end of the world, or like you just are done, or like you're a failure. But after failing many times, you still have to keep going. And don't be sad, because always remember that failure is a stepping stone to success. And basically, a scientist once said that he hasn't failed 100 times, but he found out 100 wrong ways that are not right, and he needs to change them to the right direction, or like the right way. I have 5 tips of how to be like a successful person. First, like you have to always like plan for your things before you start. Before starting on your dream, always you should have a plan, because without planning, how can you be a successful person or work on your dream? The second one is not giving up. After one fail, do not ever give up, because if you give up, you will just think that you're a failure and you won't keep trying. Third one is trying harder and harder. After you fail, always keep trying and working on it. Because if you just don't try and you will give up, you think you're a failure. Fourth one, think in a positive way. If you think in a negative way, like I can't do this, I don't have the confidence to do this, you can't do it. But if you believe in yourself and say like I can do this, I believe in myself, then you can actually achieve your goals or dreams. If the fifth one is always have confidence and believe in yourself. Without believing in yourself, you can't be a successful person. And the last thing that I want to say is the key to success is always failure. Thank you so much for listening.
Thanks a lot, it was really useful. So the last student, the topic is so cool because our community really, they have to take care of that. They have to take it into account because it's really common. So the topic is ableism. And the student is Joan Samir Salahaddin. Welcome, Joan. Let's sit.
Greetings, everyone. Today, I'd like to talk about the topic ableism. The reason I've chosen this topic is because it's very common among people in the world, and also because my younger sibling experiences it in real life. And what exactly is ableism? Ableism is a favor of fully abled people towards disabled people, which means a fully able person with no physical or mental disorders making fun of another person who has these problems or even issues, either because they think it's funny, or they are scared of them, or they just are disgusted of them. We have many types of ableism, but I'm going to give examples first. One of the examples is an autistic child at school. One of the symptoms of autism is being constantly slow. So that means it's harder for them to understand something than a normal person would. And people get irritated by slow people because they think they're just stupid. And that's actually ableism because that's not their fault that they're constantly slow and can't understand things as quick as the others. And a person in a wheelchair. So it's actually a physical disability where they can't stand proper or their leg is broken or whatever the reason is. I've seen many kids get excluded in many things because they cannot stand as well as the others can, or they cannot stand in. And mocking their looks. People with physical and mental disorders usually have, let's say, weird looks. And I don't want to sound ableist saying this, but they actually don't look as a normal person would look like. And mocking their looks, it just hurts their feelings, and that's actually ableist because it's not their fault that they got this type of, let's say, look. It's just their physical or mental disability. The types of ableism is, first we have towards mentally ill people, which can mean neurodivergent, which actually stands for autism or ADHD and BPD. They can't control their feelings or their behavior. So whenever they do something inappropriate or like out of the blue or something that's weird, let's say, weird behavior, they usually get judged by it, and it's actually not their fault though, because it's their, let's say, their response, because that's their brain responding. And we also have towards physically disabled people. Like I said, people in wheelchair or those who don't have a specific body part, and they usually get judged as well, even though it's not their fault because they were born with that, like they were born without it. We also have false self-diagnosis, which means like it's actually very common on the internet specifically because people, for attention, they like to like fake a disability or a disorder, so they can get attention from it, or even like fame or these things. Like they can get famous from their disability or disorder. How can we prevent it from happening? We can educate people. What education, as if like many people don't know what ableism is. So we can help them understand by like teaching them about it. We can also tell them the examples. We can we can just educate them. We also have speaking up, like if you see someone experiencing ableism, you gotta help them because they can't stand up for themselves alone. And speaking up for them, I mean like instead of just watching it happen, you gotta help them and let's say win the argument. Oh. Thank you for your time.